I am originally from Racine, Wisconsin. My family has lived in Wisconsin for 2 generations. My mom was born in Kenosha. My dad was born in Pearsall, Texas. I was a first-generation college student, and I lived in Phoenix for 1 year, where they offered me the opportunity to work in a community center that had a library and a garden. I didn't understand the transformative power of libraries, but it was this spark for me. And growing up in Wisconsin, we'd never had exposure to Mexican American history, representation within the literature that we were reading and introduced to in our school district. So we have citizens and residents who are able to think critically about different issues and topics is really critical to our country to thrive and have a very functional democracy.
What was the application of the new term of librotraficantes?
It is very common that when books are challenged, that they become very popular because people are very curious. What is it about this material that someone would say should not be included in a particular setting? Or what is it about this item that is so dangerous and controversial? So for writers, there were a lot of writers who were, first and foremost, upset and outraged that their materials would not be made available to students and folks to expand their education. What happened with Librotraficante is that there was an effort to buy mass quantities of the titles that were challenged, going to be removed from the school and the curriculum so that they could be made available. So lots of folks were donating books to make sure that they were available to Tucson students from the community. We actually started a Librotraficante library in Milwaukee, and today it's part of the UW Milwaukee Roberto Hernandez Center.
There has been a controversial situation regarding the taking of the Capitol in January 6 last year. These books were banned because they were a threat to the government of the United States. Those were the allegations of the Tucson School District. How do you compare those circumstances?
I don't think they're comparable. I think that learning and access to information is something that enriches us. If we read something that we disagree with, we don't have to absorb it. We don't have to adhere to it. We have the opportunity to disagree. And if you pull material out of context and make a claim about it, you're not seeing the full picture. I think talking about education from different perspectives, students are not empty vessels that we're pouring information into, and they leave with that kind of body of information in their mind. They are active participants in their education, so that engagement, conversation, critical thinking is a really important part of the conversation that I think is missed when we're removing books or challenging books on its isolated content.
You have contributed to Casa Hispana in the same area where you are right now. Can you tell us about that project?
So Casa Hispana was born, it was originally called Latino Link. The idea of the organization is to continue serving and advocating for those basic human rights, but also to celebrate and create awareness around our culture and the diversity within the Hispanic Latinx community in the Fox Valley. We are not a monolith. We come from many different countries, have many different experiences, and we want to honor that and acknowledge that and make that visible within our community. When I was in library school and someone said to a group of us, Knowledge River scholars, you should go on to become directors of libraries. You should go on to get your PhD and teach the next generation of librarians. The sky opened up for me. I had never thought of that path for myself. And it was that day that I said, I'm going to do that. I don't know what it means to get a PhD, but I'm going to do that. So I hope to be that inspiration for someone else, that they should aspire to do something they never envisioned for themselves because they can do it and they will do it.